Okay, so my next video that I want to do here is I kind of left off on this video, and I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to be coming back to this again. So I'm just going to call this Tech 1 because it's kind of just talking about the basic technology, and it's the first video I'm doing on that. So everybody's asking me, how do I trade coins? So, I think that's probably what everybody's question is, and I'm going to go ahead and show people how to do that. So, I'm going to go ahead and summarize the steps that we're going to need to do here. And so that way everybody can just kind of figure this out on their own, and they don't need to trust anything that I give them or anything like that. But I will go ahead and give you my personal referral link here in the video. So if you want to use that in order to set up your Coinbase account, I believe I get $10 in Bitcoin, 10 US dollars value of Bitcoin. So should you use that, I do appreciate it. If not, whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm not doing this for referral bonuses necessarily. I just want to teach you guys how this works. So anyway, so here's how I basically did it. The first thing you have to do is you have to go out and you got to get a Coinbase account. And so a Coinbase account. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. You can do any of these things that I'm talking about or I'm showing you. Can be found in the App Store on your iPhone, and it can also be found, of course, on the websites that I'm going to show you here. So the first thing we're going to do that, and then after we have set up a Coinbase account, then the second thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to then go in and set up also what's called an exchange account. So, and I'll explain that here in just a second, or a Bittrex account. And from what I've been hearing, Bittrex is closed for new accounts because of volume or something like that. So there are a few other exchanges, so I'll go ahead and kind of talk about some of those as well. I think BTC.com is one, Phoenix is one, I think. But I don't use any of these, so I'm not going to necessarily endorse anything. I don't know. Again, just like anything that I talk about that is a investment, please do your own due diligence. Invest appropriately. Never invest in things that you don't understand, and always invest what you're comfortable in losing. So with that being said, that's just so people don't go jumping out the windows like they did when the stock market crashed and things of that nature, which I very well see happening. Is I do see the stock market definitely taking some different directions over the next few years. So I know that Donald Trump is talking a lot about how anyway, we're not going to get into that. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this stuff that we're looking at here. So how do you get set up with a Coinbase account? How do you get set up with a Bittrex account? How do you get up with this BTC account? Whatever these exchanges are, whatever it is that you decide to do, and why do you do this? So first things first, let's go ahead and talk about Coinbase. Why are you going to set up a Coinbase account? Well, Coinbase is really going to be the easiest way that you can get money from your credit card into pretty much a trustable wallet, universally trusted wallet. And Coinbase is also a company that is here in the United States. It was actually founded by a gentleman named Charlie Lee, who is a graduate from MIT, also worked at Google, and helped start Coinbase. Also is the founder of a coin called Litecoin. So Charlie Lee is a very trusted individual, much like the fictitious and or the mythical character of Satoshi Nakamoto, who many people talk about in a digital currency, which is the person that kind of helped give us this technology, or that released this technology upon us in open form. So with that being said, Coinbase. So what is Coinbase? Coinbase is a digital area where we can go out and trade currency. So let's go out and take a look at Coinbase. So I'm going to go ahead and pull Internet Explorer over here, which I don't normally use, so they won't have any cache. And I'll talk in other videos. I'll talk about that. This is all about security and things like that. I know many of you have questions on security. How do I keep myself secure? one of the things that I hate about Microsoft is they always try to take you to their home pages, and I just, anyway, whatever. So we're going to see a lot more of that, by the way, with this net neutrality rule. So I'm going to do another video on that as well. So anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about, by the way, those are my commercials for my next videos. So we're going to talk about Coinbase. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in Coinbase here in my search window. And since I'm on Internet Explorer, you know, it's just kind of taking everything over. So let's just put it in here, Coinbase, do our search. There's Coinbase, and it says Coinbase is a digital currency exchange headquarters in San Francisco, California. They broker exchange of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, and other digital assets with fiat currencies in 32 countries. So what does that mean? Let's look up fiat currency. So what do they mean by a fiat currency? So fiat is currency which derives its value from government regulations or laws. So that what we're saying when we talk about fiat currency versus digital currency is we're talking about dollars or euros or anything along those lines versus digital currency, which is coin, which normally is what we refer to as coin. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and go back and take a look at Coinbase again. And so we're going to go ahead and go to the Coinbase Wikipedia site. I always like to go there. It's usually a pretty trusted website simply because it's a universally accepted website by all of us. We've all kind of agreed that this is indeed good standards to live by, and so as long as we all agree by the same standards, then it passes our standards and it gets published. So anyway, if you want to look more into that, you can go ahead and look into that, and I can even do more videos on that as well later. But for now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to Coinbase's website. Sorry, I clicked on their logo instead of on their website. So let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and just go back to our initial search. I don't normally use this search engine, so sorry about that. So Coinbase's official site. So there we go. So we're going to go there. And when we go to Coinbase, we can see that you can sign up for an account. Once you sign up for an account, there's going to be a lot of different methods that you're going to use in order to validate yourself. And then you're going to set up a digital wallet. And so I'm going to show you some videos a little later on how to do those things as well. But once you get signed in, a few things that are going to be really, really important for you. One is you're going to get a private key. You're going to want to make sure you keep that private key and you keep it very secure. Don't put it in your cloud. Don't put it anywhere. Maybe if you have a removable thumb drive or something along those lines that you trust. If you can get a digital wallet, a hard digital wallet, there's various vendors out there that sell those, and I can maybe give you links to those as well. So anyway, so these various vendors that make these wallets, basically they're either a hardware wallet or a software wallet. A software wallet is probably just fine for most of us, but if we have millions and millions of dollars or large amounts of money, or even money that we just don't want stolen from us, a hardware wallet that maybe is kept backed up somewhere in a digital safe or a digital place where you trust your digital items to be, so that they don't get corrupted. Because the nice thing about these digital wallets is they don't have to be plugged in. They are part of the blockchain, so you're owning a chain of the block of the data, and you own that in that encryption key, and so nobody can access that chain of data without your key. And so you got that key on that particular signature on that piece of equipment. I'm hoping that they make this a little bit more easy for most of us, but now it's somewhat difficult. But anyway, I'll make more videos on that later on. But for now, one of the things that you want to make sure you do is also set up what's called two-factor authentication. This is going to require that you then download a simple application that then is going to ask you for like a 6-digit code. And that code's going to basically, you're going to take a picture of like a barcode on Coinigy, and then that's going to randomly generate your 6-digit code. So on like your phone or or whatever the app is that you use for this. And it's I forgot, it's called, I'll look on my phone here, Google, let me see, it's called, it's called, the one that I use here is called Authenticator. It's Google Authenticator. So it also is used in conjunction with your Google various different identities, such as your Gmail and various different things like that. That if you've been on Google for a while, you probably have had an account with either YouTube or Google or something along those lines. Anyway, I can make videos about that later on. If anybody's interested, I can show you more about that. So with that being said, you've kind of identified yourself because you've been doing various different transactions and doing these various different things online. So you are who you say you are. Then they use various different things in order to validate you, various different things like sending you texts or emails or depositing money into your bank account, that kind of thing. And try to just ensure that you are who you say you are, so that when you do transactions through them, they can validate it. So with that being said, you've validated to them, so now they are going to basically create a key for you or a wallet, and then that is an address that you're going to then be able to transfer money. Now here's the thing. So when you set up your Coinbase account, so after you set up your Coinbase account, there are coins. Okay, so what are coins? Well, coins are just basically currency. I really wish I was doing these in a different route, but I have so many people asking me, how do I get set up? So anyway, so coins are currency, just digital currency. So we use them to do various different things, and I'll explain it later. So we need those coins, and so the coins that are available on Coinbase are the three major coins for the three major networks that we use for coin or for digital currency, and those are Bit for Bitcoin, and so then you also have Ethereum, which there is a myriad of applications that are written on the Ethereum blockchain, and then you have Light, which is going to be Litecoin, or which is on the Lightning Network, which is Charlie Lee's network, which I kind of mentioned his name a little bit earlier. So Lightning Network is really fast and efficient. And it's kind of like silver as to gold is what the analogy is that they use for Lightning or Litecoin to Bit. So Bitcoin is gold, more the gold standard in digital currency, whereas Lightning is more your silver standard in the current and basically the analogy that they like to make is that if you're spending silver on more of a day-to-day transactional basis, whereas you're spending gold on more of a year-to-year transactional basis for most people. So, you know, when you make the larger transactions, you spend your gold or your Bitcoin, and then when you make the smaller transactions, you spend your Light or your Litecoin. So anyway, so that's kind of the concept there. Hope that just gives you a basic understanding of it. I know most of you don't give a crap about this, so this is really what I want to talk about. So I am just trying to make this just how do you get set up, how do you get to trade, and how do you know what you're doing. I don't want people to get on here and just start dumping money in here because you don't know what the heck you're looking at. So at least try to look at some of the three big coins on Coinbase. Don't be afraid of those. I don't know which of these networks are going to take off necessarily, but I think that they're all viable, and we all are going to be doing digital transactions, so we're all probably going to be using all of those networks. So I can't see any of those networks really going down necessarily unless they're just complete frauds. And so there are people who claim these things and that type of thing. You would have to understand the technology behind it, and I'd be happy to explain that. But anyway, that'll be in a different video. All right, so what is going on here with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum is you just got those three networks. And so when you get on Coinbase, you can buy Bitcoin, and you can also buy Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, I believe, is just a fork off of Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I will double check with some of Richard Hart's video. He usually knows most of that stuff, just to verify that information. But And then there's also a gentleman named Richard Ver, who I believe is heavily involved in this Bitcoin Cash venture. So anyway, so those gentlemen, anyway, you can look those guys up if you want. Litecoin, anyway, I'll put Richard in here. I believe he is involved with Bitcoin Cash. And then also, so you can take a look at him out there on the Twitter sphere. And then Litecoin, that is going to be Charlie Lee. And I believe he is Satoshi Charlie or something along those lines. Satoshi Light, something like that. Anyway, that's Charlie Lee. Really cool guy. If you can see any of his videos online, a lot of cool stuff from Charlie. So, so anyway, those are just mostly developers, to be honest with you, really smart fellas, and have worked on these projects, understand the technology. And I think what's happened is basically you have developers who are kind of tired of giving all of their money away to everyone else, and they realize that they would just kind of rather give the top technology that they're creating directly to the people. And so what's happening is this coin that we have, that we are using, is created in a universal development environment a lot of times, and or in a private environment sometimes, and you have to research each of the coins that you invest in. So the coins that you can invest in on Coinbase are probably the most trusted coins that are out there. When you get into some of the coins on Bittrex and some of the BTC and Stinium and maybe even some of the other things that we see advertised as initial coin offerings, we need to be very cautious about those things because we don't know where they're coming from. We don't know the technology behind it. And sometimes we're just rushed to take my money, take my money, take my money. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, this is a tulip craze. You know, everybody's afraid of the dollar. The dollar's going to go away. You know, and then we're going to have kind of the same thing that we had, you know, in the what was it, the tulip factor or the tulip mania, or I forgot what they called it. But anyway, you guys can look it up. It's out there. It's in the history books. And so, in essence, the concept, tulip bulbs. So in essence, the concept was everybody invested in tulip bulbs. Tulip bulbs were maybe worth, you know, let's say they're worth $1. They went up to $700 a piece, and everybody's like, oh my God, I got $700 of tulip bulbs, and tulip bulbs aren't worth crap, right? So, and I understand that concept, but here's the thing: the concept there is that your dollar is not worth anything. And so therefore you have to put your dollar into something that you find tangibly valuable. And so if that was the case, you would have picked tulip bulbs, and then let's say the dollar, the bottom fell out of the dollar, and then all of a sudden now you have no tulip bulbs that are worth anything. So so the concept is that you need to have something that has tangible worth. And we always want to learn that, you know, in economics back in, you know, in high school or something. That's probably why we all had to take that in our senior year. All right, so when we think about this concept now, so now that we understand that, you know, you have a value that's associated with a either it's going to be, you know, let's say it's going to be either a tangible item. Okay, let's say that it's a firearm. You know, that could be a firearm. A tangible item could be a firearm. A lot of people are investing in those, or maybe they're investing in Star Wars memorabilia. I don't care what you invest in, but it's a tangible item, right? So you're just associating a value with something. And so maybe it's gold, right? A lot of people say, oh, I live on the gold standard. Well, okay, well, let's say you're worth $160 million, okay? So, you know, Jeff Bezos is not going to have a huge gold safe at his house. That just doesn't make sense. So, you know, these things we have to be cognizant of, and we have to start understanding the technology. So we have to associate a value with something. And so, you know, you have to have a value associated with whatever it is that you're doing. So So that's what we need to do, is we need to associate that value, and that value is associated with the technology. And what is the technology? Well, the technology is the coin, right? And so why would I invest in this coin? Well, I'm going to tell you very simply why you would invest in this coin. And if you watch some of my other videos, I'm going to make this extremely detailed, and I'm going to draw it out and explain exactly why this works. But for now, you guys just want to get out there and buy coins, so I'm going to show you, but I can't consciously show you this unless I show you why you should see value in this. And so until I do that, I won't show you how to do it. So hopefully you're not just fast forwarding through the video and getting to the good stuff. So anyway, here we go. So all right, so what is coin? Well, people are saying, well, coin is just, it's just digital asset. It's just, it's a digital asset. It's a digital dollar. Well, that's true, but the coin represents something. So coins are going to be representative of something. So what is that something? So let's say that you have a big one that they talk about today is pot, right? So California is going to have pot, and the federal government doesn't really necessarily let California have pot, and the federal government's charging the banks, or the banks are controlled by the federal government, not by California. So what's going to happen when all this money comes in from California? I know we did this in Colorado already, and it's going to be a pretty seamless thing that's happening, but there's still a lot of cash transactions going on. A lot of people don't know what to do with all this cash, and this cash then in turn creates a lot of crime, and so there's a lot of problems going on with this. And so one of the coins that you'll find out here is called THC coin, right? And so I think it's called THC. It's called hemp coin, I think is the name of the coin itself. If you hear my dog in the background, I do apologize. He's very, very obsessive, and he loves to be around me. So he hears me in here talking, and he wants to be in here with me. So I do apologize for that. All right, so we got THC coin. That's one you should go check out. But basically, let's say that I want to do transactions in that THC market, which is marijuana or whatever that is. Whether I'm selling marijuana from my farm to a dispensary, or a dispensary to a client. Wouldn't it be much easier if I didn't have to deal with a dollar and not have to worry about all that criminality? So that's kind of the concept behind this, and so it's kind of backed by Bitcoin. And when you buy this coin, it's kind of a fork. It's what's called a fork off of it, and so it's just part of that technology, backed or written through that technology with additional technology written on top of it. And so you gotta read the white papers, and you gotta make sure you understand it, make sure you trust it. But normally those all end up working out to be very, very good coins. Sometimes, especially if you're going to find them on things like Bittrex and things along those lines. So that's going to be an important one that you're going to want to take a look at. Another one that you're going to probably want to go out there and take a look at. Is Ripple. I talk about Ripple a lot, so I'm going to show that to you. And then also you're going to want to probably take a look at Verge. That's one of my favorites. So anyway, I'll show some of these to you, and I want to explain to you why you're going to see value in those, and take you into those accounts. So let's draw out what you're going to do. Sorry, sometimes this takes a little bit of time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to just create a new thing. So, we're going to go ahead and just kind of go through here, and we're going to kind of just summarize. You're going to create a Coinbase account. You're going to get you some coins. Now, when you get some coins, usually I recommend, personally, this is step one here. So let's just put a checkbox there. After you do step one, then what do? You got to buy coins, right? So this is going to be your step two. And then after you buy your coin, you're going to, usually I buy Litecoin because it's a lot faster than Bitcoin or Ethereum.
So I usually get Litecoin. I'm not used Bitcoin Cash, and it's not available yet on Coinbase. So, all right, give me a